Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out LiboView. Today I want to talk about action cams. I've done reviews in the past on a few different action cams that I have, and some of them have been kind of glazed over. I didn't want to go into too much detail because the cameras had been out for a while and the details of the camera were already rehashed so many times on YouTube. I just didn't see a reason to specifically go over each and every feature. And in this case, I'm not going to go over every feature on this camera, and it's not because it has been hashed over greatly. It's because there's a ton of features, and I don't think that I could cover them all in this video to where you would continue to watch. But right now, I'd like to talk about what I feel at this time is currently the greatest action cam that you can purchase. Now, I know that's a pretty bold statement to be said, because there's a lot of action cams out there, and there's a lot of opinions as far as GoPro versus whatever else that's out there, because GoPro was kind of the beginning of all the action cam stuff. Although we had a GoPro Hero in the past, I didn't really care for some of the functions, and the main thing that I had a problem with was image stabilization. So let me give you some history of the YouTube channel and what I shot with, and not specifically this channel, but one of my other channels. When I first started, all I did was just use an old Sony WSC70. It was a good camera. It did a good job for photos, but as far as videos, it was horrible. The audio was pretty good, but the videos were just terrible. So I knew that I liked having that point and shoot capability, but I wanted something that was a little bit more dedicated and had HD quality. And at the time, going back to 2007, the ZI-10, ZI-8, that model had been out for quite a few years, actually about 3 years at that time, and they were really cheap. You could pick them up for $40, and it had HD quality, and it had an external microphone in, which I wanted. So I went ahead and picked up one of those, but the camera showed its limited capabilities in a lot of other ways as far as view. So I knew I wanted something with a little bit wider view, and I did want something that had a good stereo microphone. So I picked up a Canon ELPH, and that camera was incredible. I used that for quite a few videos, and it did everything that I asked for it, except it had some shortcomings. The shortcomings on that one was that it didn't have a place for an external microphone, so I had to do an external audio capture, and I had to sync in post-production. The other thing was battery life. It seemed like the batteries just got ate up quite a bit, and you could only shoot for 10 minutes at a time, and the camera would shut off. Now that was in HD, that was in full HD. The pictures that it took were pretty good, but I really got it for the video capabilities more than anything else. So that's when I knew I needed to step up and quit going into cameras that were meant for something else and trying to use them as video cameras. And that's when I purchased my first action cam. And this one is an FDR-X3000 VR. This thing was a workhorse, and it came with the live view remote, which I didn't think at first I needed 100%, but I found that I used it quite a bit. It was nice. I could go out in the rain, and everything was waterproof, splash proof without that waterproof housing. And that made a really big difference because the microphone with the waterproof housing on wasn't too good. It was pretty good, but not great. The camera did everything that I wanted. The quality was really good. The image stabilization that was built into it was really good. The audio was really good. The external microphone input for this was good. The battery life was good. Everything about this camera was good. I loved it. However, I needed another camera that would do a secondary shot that matched the same view and angle as this one. So that's when I picked up my second action cam. And yes, you're right. The second action cam is actually older than the first one. This is an AS20. Now, I picked this up relatively cheap off of Craigslist, and it was brand new. The guy never used it. He got it as a prize or something whenever he bought another camera. So I got this right away, went into use, and I found that all the features on this one and all the things that I liked about the first one were pretty much available in this. Now, there's some features on that AS100 that you can do, like it has GPS capability. It also has live streaming capability. Both of those things I didn't really use, so I wanted to go with this just as a secondary view, again, for a subject that was getting two cameras put on it. So the shot was coming across a little bit more fluent than going from a camcorder shot to an action cam shot. So this was a great camcorder to go in addition to the other one. Now, I've been using those two action cams in conjunction with a couple of camcorders that I have to do all my shooting for my 3 channels. And that's when I picked up this camcorder, and this one is an AS200. Now the AS200, I'll have to say, 100% is better in every way than the AS100V. Now, is there a huge difference? No, but there is a difference, and obviously it's definitely better than the AS20. I'm going to show you just a quick clip, a little video that I kind of threw together real fast just to show you the difference of what they look like side by side by side. It's a little bit rainy outside and a little bit windy. It's overcast, so it's not going to be the greatest lighting. So this might be a good test as far as how these cameras handle wind, and also a little bit poor lighting. Now all of them are set at their highest setting, which is 1080p at 60 frames per second. So that's going to be the same. I'm kind of curious to see how this is all going to turn out, because the difference between the price of the cameras, even used, you could buy the AS20 for about $50. The AS100 you can get for about $150, maybe $120, and then the AS200 you can get about $175, maybe $200 for that. And then the AS200 is about $175, maybe $200 for that one. So let's see how these things perform all together here. Now I've just got a simple setup, so it's not going to be exact, but it'll give you a good idea. We're coming outside, and the steady shot is set up on each of these. We're moving into some wind now. Now the wind has died off. There's some more wind. So we'll go ahead and get comparisons here on everything. As far as walking and it bouncing around, I'm holding it pretty still, but the steady shot is on. You can see the lines on the camper, how they compare with each other, and then the lines on the garage, see how they compare with each other. Obviously I've got some junk on my little tree back here that I didn't know about that blew over from the neighbors. You can check out the shingles on the shed and how they come into view as far as sharpness. And then the house at a distance, all the lines that are on the siding, and then maybe the shingles also. Now let's go ahead and do a turnaround. Now here you are with it in a selfie mode and how it looks. You can tell that they're a little bit misaligned, so you might have some slightly different angles going on here. Let's go ahead and try to straighten that out. The camera over here at the furthest, that's the AS20. The AS100's in the middle, and then this one's the AS200. You can see the trees back here. There's a hornet's nest up in that tree I didn't see all summer long. Let's get this plastic off my plant before it kills it. And again into the wind. You can see the flag blowing there. And you can see the writing on the garbage can. So let's go see what this looks like. So I basically showed you a rough comparison of what those cameras look like all together there. You can tell the 200 has some sharpness to it and some clarity that the other two don't. Now, it doesn't make the other two bad by no means. And actually, the AS100 I still think shoots better in low light conditions, not extreme low light conditions, but duller conditions to brighten things up. For example, if I was in a dark garage and I had the cameras facing me doing a selfie shot, the AS100 seemed to brighten it up a little bit more, but I liked the lines and the clarity of the AS200 more. So that was going to replace the AS20. Yeah, that's right, I said the AS20. Now that didn't mean I was keeping the AS100. I wanted to go into something better. That's why I picked up this camera here. This is the FDR-X3000. Now I know it's in some sort of a little vlog setup here. Just kind of ignore that. I'm going to be doing a walk around to show you how stable this thing is. And the reason is because it don't only have digital image stabilization. This is the first action camera that has optical image stabilization, and it's spectacular. It's a game changer. If you want the best action cam for Christmas 2016, this is it. This is the one to go for right now. There's not one better. And I'm telling you, as far as the walking around and the image that you get out of this thing is really incredible. I can't believe how much it dampens it. The reason it can do that is because it has optical image stabilization. To show you what that means, I have a camcorder that has optical image stabilization. Now, although it doesn't work exactly the same way, there is a moving part inside of this little action cam that does just what the camcorder does. So let me show you. Basically what you're seeing is the camcorder, and it's on in an autofocus type situation, and the digital image stabilization is on, so it's stabilizing the picture. However, whenever you physically move the camera, the optical image stabilization kicks in and it tries to keep the image in focus. So not only is it trying to keep the image in the viewfinder, but also then the digital image stabilization is taking that view that's being dampened and straightening it out even more. So the fact that you can get this in this little camcorder is really cool. Again, it doesn't operate exactly like that camcorder, but it's really close. It's just the way that they do it. They move something else instead of the actual optical lens in the same manner. The live view remote has a great new feature that wasn't offered in the other live view remotes, and I think it might only be available to this camera and maybe the AS50. And that is that whenever you power on, if you've got the feature on, when you power on your little LCD, it turns on the camera. At that point, you can make all kinds of changes, or you can start filming and you just push the record button. After you're done recording, of course, stop the camera, stop the recording, and then if you power off your LCD, it powers off the camera. Now that's really great for whenever it's mounted out on your car, maybe on your roof, on the back of the truck, on your trailer, whatever the case may be. Maybe you're stuck in traffic for 45 minutes. You just hit the button and the camera will shut off, save power. The LCD will shut off and save power, and it'll wait. It'll wait until you want it to come back on again. You power on the LCD, it'll turn the camera back on. Where before, you could make it to where the cameras would turn off on the vehicle if it was mounted, let's say, on, in my case, the tailgate of my truck, but you couldn't turn it back on again without getting out and going back and turning on the camera. So great feature. Sony, that was a brilliant move on your part. The other thing that I like on this is they changed where the external microphone goes. They now have it behind this little door in the back, and the features that were on the bottom of this camcorder here are now located in the back. So once you mount this on a tripod, there's nothing to interfere with you plugging in an external mic. Let me tell you about one other feature, talking about this LCD and the external mic with this camera. This camera has the ability to turn on extended Wi-Fi, and what that does is sends off a really strong signal, so this LCD can pick up the picture from some distance. So in my case, I could mount the camera, let's say, on a tree for a time lapse, or maybe I'm shooting a video and the camera's out somewhere. If I turn that extended Wi-Fi on, it makes it to where I can be 35 yards away and inside a metal RV, and I can still see what I'm capturing outside. But whenever I was trying to do a vlog update, I still had that extended Wi-Fi feature on, and I plugged in an external microphone. Big mistake with that extended Wi-Fi. It will interfere even with a $100 lavalier mic with really good shielding. I was getting all kinds of clicking sounds and I didn't know what was going on. I thought the camera was malfunctioning until I realized that maybe I had something on that was causing interference, and that's when I went in and turned off that Wi-Fi function, the extended Wi-Fi, and it worked after that. So I still got the view that I needed. And of course, if you got a microphone plugged in here, I don't think you really need that extended Wi-Fi on, because you're probably relatively close at that point. The features that are available in this camera, I couldn't possibly go over in one video. I mean, I could, but the video would be like 40 minutes long. Just go ahead, pick it up if you're thinking about an action cam, and just trust me when I tell you this is the action cam to get right now. I can't see anything that even comes close. So we got it set up on the vlogging rig here. You can see it's just the Joby GorillaPod, and of course the LCD, whenever I'm doing selfie, I can turn that around to where it's looking at the screen so I can see what I'm shooting. And then whenever I'm going externally, like I'm going to do now and do this walk, you'll see how smooth it is. Let me go ahead and show you. I'll walk around and see what you think. We'll go ahead and point it the other way. I don't have it on a gimbal or anything like that. I just have it on a Joby pod, GorillaPod, whatever you want to call it. And you can see it's pretty smooth. I mean, I'm walking, and it's not like I'm a ballerina. And I can hold it pretty steady, but I can see that it's moving, but hopefully the shot is being picked up. Plus it has pretty good stereo sound to it. A lot of other features that I really like. So we'll have to see how it works overall. Again, like I said in the thing, I'm no ballerina, and it's still smoothed out. Even though I'm heavy-footed out there, it seemed like I had it on a gimbal, and I didn't at all. So guys, I'm gonna put the link down below for this camera. I'm gonna put a link down below for the other cameras that I talked about. And if you're thinking about any of them, just click the link. It'll take you to them. You'll be able to see the pricing. Always check to see if there's a used one. It's bad packaging, you know, damaged packaging, that kind of a thing. You can get discounts that way. But it's a really good action cam. I'm really glad that I have this in my arsenal. I'm going to go ahead and retire the AS20 and the AS100. This upgrade is by far the best camera that I've upgraded to. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this helped out. And if you like this video, click like or subscribe, but more importantly, links down below. That helps me out with this channel. I appreciate you guys watching. Bye.